2017. And with this capsule, we hope to go back to the moon, explore deep space, and one day make it onto Mars. Now, I'm going to direct your attention to this room here, and I'm going to go over the basic layout of a mission control room with you. The center console that you see here, one that's labeled flight director. Well, you cannot get any more powerful than a flight director during a mission. They are considered the boss of all bosses, and for the crew on board the spacecraft, that is the boss. Every console in this room reports directly to the flight director. The flight director is in charge of crew safety and mission success. In fact, any order given by a flight director during the course of the mission cannot be overridden. Not by anyone on Earth nor above it. Not the commander of the space shuttle flight, director of NASA, or even the president of the United States. You cannot override direct order that's been issued by a flight director during the course of a mission. Now, the position that sits to the right of the flight director is basically the right-hand man in this room, Capcom. Now, Capcom stands for Capsule Communication. It is a term that predates our shuttle. In fact, it goes all the way back to early days of manned spaceflight when we were still sending capsules into space. And every message that needs to go to the astronauts in space from this mission control room floor has to go through Capcom, because they're the only ones allowed to speak to the astronauts in space. And that seat at Capcom has been and will always be filled by an astronaut. For one very important reason, folks. Astronauts are a whole lot like pilots. It frankly takes one to talk to one. In fact, our first astronauts were pilots. And every astronaut since Alan Shepard, the first man we sent to space, folks, has been required to spend time in that Capcom seat. It just comes with a paycheck. Now, the rest of the mission control can kind of be broken up into sections. It's only those two missions that are a little kind of awkward. Everything you see on this side of the room here deals with the human element of the mission, whether if it's just scheduling to the flight surgeon who sits in the very back here, who's an actual licensed medical doctor whose job it is to monitor the health of the crew, to everything you see on this side of the room here, which deals with the mechanics and software of the mission. And then you have the trench, which is the very front row, where your true blue rocket scientists sit. Those are the heavy math guys. Now, I'm going to point out one more thing before we go ahead and speak. Guys, anyway, because I do have a bit of a schedule I have to keep you on today. And that's the center tracking map here, or the center screen here that has an orbital tracking map on it. It's currently tracking the live location of the International Space Station. You can see where it is by looking for the white icon that's surrounded by the white circle that's currently going over Brazil. Now you're going to see this icon flicker in order to indicate movement. Well, it's actually very deceptive. The International Space Station is currently orbiting above our heads at a speed of roughly 17,500 miles per hour. That's roughly 5 miles a second. Both the crew members on board the International Space Station and the shuttle orbiter see a total of 16 sunrises and 16 sunsets in one day. Wow. They cross over the international dateline 16 times and orbit the globe once every 90 minutes. Now, folks, if all that combined does not serve to mess with your internal clock, I honestly don't know what will. So everything we do in space is kept on one time, and that time is Greenwich Mean Time or Zulu time. The prime meridian which runs through England, well, it is the basis for our clock in space. Now, your average day on board the station does look a little something like this. You have to work out 2 hours every day in order to save off the loss of bone and muscle mass. You also have to maintain the systems of the International Space Station. Those are basically your housekeeping chores. And you also have to work with over 1,000 experiments that are currently on board that orbiting laboratory. Now, these experiments run the gambit from studying human physiology to physics, chemistry, agriculture. You think of science, there's an experiment port on board the ISS right now. Now, folks, weekends on board the International Space Station are considered days off. It would be unfair of us to send you up there for 6 months and tell you to work 7 days a week. After all, when you're an astronaut, you are technically a government employee, you get weekends off. And what the astronauts like to do with their spare time on board the station, they like to read books, surf the web, update their iTunes, phone home, watch TV, watch movies, but they get satellite in space, guys, not cool. And they like to look out the window. Now that sounds mundane and low tech, but if you'll bear with me, just a little bit of channel surfing. What I've just pulled up here are actually live feeds from the Earth, or of the Earth, from the International Space Station. If I do say so myself, folks, they get one of the best views in the world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I do hate to say, but I am going to have to send you on your way pretty soon. I have a bit of a schedule